So today, this is going to be interesting. This is my first day with a second mic.
Okay.
So you definitely want to pull in as close as possible. I've got them both working. And yeah, it's a little above. You don't have to point yourself in.
Okay.
We got good view.
Yeah.
This seems good.
Yeah.
You brought some chocolate milk.
Yeah,
Want
I
a
don't.
glass?
I've seen. No, that's fine. That's fine. The carton's good.
Yeah.
I'm a chocolate milk freak. I know.
Yeah?
I've been sober. Actually, the 27th will be 9 years. I've been
Congratulations.
sober. Yeah.
So you're not looking for any of that?
I'm fine. No,
Not
I'm
looking
fine.
for any of this?
Oh, like I'm a very avid cannabis smoker. Definitely. Do you smoke cannabis?
I very, very rare, but I have it here for anybody that wants any. So,
Really?
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah,
Wow,
so-
that's amazing.
Yeah, so by all means, I've got all these different kinds that I picked up from Niagara Herbalist. So
Oh, the one on Lakeshore there.
in St. Catharines.
Yeah, I haven't went in yet. My son's been in there.
Yeah. I back in the day, I used to enjoy the marijuana sticks a little bit. Now, not as much. But
I grow my own.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have like a small grow tent. I have 1200 watts of LED lighting with the carbon filter. I have a small air conditioner in there. It's a 10. I had CH News over and they didn't even know it was there.
Really?
It's hidden so perfectly. It's vented outside.
It's nice when you grow your own. Then you know.
I know exactly what's in it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Yeah. And they have auto flowers now that just automatically flower. So they take very little maintenance. They're small little plants. You get a couple ounces off each one.
Really?
Yeah, they're perfect.
Do you grow? Like I don't know a ton, but when I bought this, I have sativas, indicas. Which kind?
Yeah, indica. Always remember indica, indicoach.
Indica.
Yeah,
That's what they told me.
Sativa's the high, yeah. Indica, indicoach, yep.
So which one do you prefer?
Doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter to me. I am Stonehenge Therapeutic Community in Guelph,
Yeah.
and cannabis saved my life.
Yeah.
I was day proed to Stonehenge in Guelph, and I had a huge awakening there. And other federal inmates that were there, because they have so many beds for federal inmates, they helped me get through it.
What is this place?
Stonehenge Therapeutic Community. It's a treatment center in Guelph. It's
Gotcha.
right by Homewood. Homewood used to be the big one where all the stars went to.
Really?
Yeah, Homewood has pictures on the walls of different people that have been there. Big stars from Hollywood and stuff. It was
Really?
a worldwide known treatment center, yeah.
And it's in Guelph.
Yeah, and Stonehenge is a separate part, but you get passes from there. You go to Homewood meetings and stuff like that. So, yeah, they saved my life. They definitely.
9 years.
9
and-
years sober now on the 27th.
of
Yeah.
June. Wow! Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
So that means no booze.
Yeah, no booze. And, I know a lot of people still look at cannabis as a drug. It's never, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This saved my life. Would you
Right.
rather see me underneath a bridge doing heroin like I was doing at one time? I was a bad addict. Very bad. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
But this is still good. Are you going to enjoy any while you're here?
Saved my life, probably.
Well, one thing
It's
I'm
being
gonna do-
offered, definitely.
Yeah, of course. By all means, anything I can do. I'm gonna shut the door here just in case. Keep the audio nice and tight.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. I have all these different kinds. I have no idea if there's any kind you want at any time.
What are they, all joints?
They're all pre-rolls. Yeah.
Oh, really, eh?
Yeah, the packaging's
Look
pretty
at the
crazy.
packaging. Like, are you kidding me?
I know.
We just had a plastics ban, and
I know.
there's all kinds of plastics on this stuff.
Yeah, this stuff is crazy.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I'll definitely partake, for sure.
Nice.
Thank
so
you. And if you wanted to have a drink, go right ahead. Stuff like that does not bother me at all.
I honestly, I don't drink a ton, but I drink more socially. So if you're
Yeah.
not drinking, water keeps me hydrated.
Yep.
It's good.
Yep,
Yeah.
for sure.
So I guess I'll start with how we got here today. So we got here, first started, I didn't know who you were until very recently.
Yeah.
Welland Memes. I seen a post about you. I had no idea what it was.
Yeah.
I made a comment. I believe I said, "What is this about?"
And a lot of people sent you articles, and
was-
it amazed me. It made me feel so good to see that I didn't have to respond, that supporters responded to that.
Yeah.
And that was fantastic. I loved seeing that.
Yeah, so I don't remember if it was morning. I don't remember what day, but I remember commenting. And the next time I looked, there was a whole bunch of comments. I got a ton of inbox messages, people starting to tell me your story. And then you reached out to me.
Yeah.
And we've never met before.
I looked
now.
at your views on the stuff that you do, and I thought this is a great platform. So I watched some of your podcasts, and I see you have a variety of everybody and every subject.
Yes.
And I thought this is one that needs to be discussed. It's been in the shadows too long.
Yeah, and the people had mentioned that, yeah, articles. I think somebody did a video already of some sort.
I had a professional documentary made by Niagara College film students, fourth year students.
Right.
That Me Too, hashtag Me Too with a question mark, and it's a men's perspective of the journey through clergy abuse.
Right.
And that documentary has done very well, and I'm a little rough around the edges. So that documentary took out cursing and stuff like that. So it's a thing that I can pitch to somebody and say, I would love to do Q&As after.
Right.
You know, we can do it at the Niagara Sexual Assault Center, anywhere like that. I would love to get into the detention centers, but they want 15 years of crime-free. Like, if you have somebody like me that's been crime-free for a few years now,
right,
off of parole, everything's been going great, 9 years sober, you'd think you'd be pushing to have somebody like me be able to go and talk to these guys. The mental health services are horrible inside.
They want 15 years crime free.
Yeah.
That's
a very long time. Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I'm trying to work with a pastor or somebody that's within and then my story, like I had somebody at an organization ask me if I would be willing to talk about my journey. And then it was a Christian organization, and they said, but I have to leave Greco out. And I said, well, then I'm not going to talk about my journey.
Right.
Because my journey goes from birth to age 8 and then Greco.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So yeah, let's touch on this a little bit. So when you reached out to me, you asked me if you could be on here.
Yes.
And immediately after knowing already what I knew, I said, of course.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, I born and raised Catholic. So when you asked me, my first instinct was yes.
Yeah.
Now, I've told some people that I'm having you on, and I'm shocked to hear that not everybody first instinct is yes to speak with you.
Yeah.
It actually, it blows my mind, because growing up Catholic, now, I don't even know how you grew up or not, but...
Catholic, yeah. Very,
you Catholic too?
Yeah, very. I grew up across the street from St Kevins Parish. I lived on Locust Street.
Wow.
And family members still own that house. And my mom had her Bible open on dining room table every day. She never preached to people, but she belonged to the Women's Christian. It was life, yeah. Our life revolved around the church as kids.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, and with myself, growing up Catholic, I've grown up where it's had a positive impact on my life.
Yep.
I believe, like, I went to Catholic elementary school, Catholic high school. I went to St. Elizabeth, Lakeshore. And I even took one course, international religion, just to kind of broaden my understanding. Common theme across religions, Catholic, anything, is treat others as you want to be treated.
That's right.
So you wanting to come on, even though I don't even know how to describe this whole thing, but to me, you want to come on and talk, I can't. Why not?
Those people that are naysayers or may not support what I'm doing may not be educated and may not understand what this is about. And this is a platform to have them understand better.
Yeah.
And it's a spotlight that's being shone on a shadow that let's face it, the Catholic institution wants to keep it in the shadows. If they want me away from St. Kevin's Church, then Bishop Burgee has to publish a list of convicted priests in the Niagara region. If he does that, I'll stop.
Really?
Yeah. I've had emails sent to him by a lot of people, and they just ignore everything.
Really?
Yeah. And it just feeds into the secrecy and the non-transparency.
Right. You know? And see, that's it. I find it, I don't even know, because our Catholic, like I said, you treat others as you want to be treated, and you treat everybody good, and then this is not what the religion is.
This is not in line with...
No.
Now, I have a sign. One of my signs says the Pope is a heretic. I'm not...
I don't even know what that means.
A heretic is somebody that is agreeing with the masses and telling the masses that something will be changed, and nothing changes.
Gotcha.
Everything remains the same. So at last count, there was 31 priests worldwide that have signed a decree to label him a heretic.
Really?
Start doing what you're supposed to do. They say they're going to accept the LGBTQ community into the church, but there's always that but we're not going to marry man and man, woman and woman. Like, are you kidding me? So I have a LGBTQ flag that's on one of my signs, and I've actually had 2 parishioners ask me, point to the flag and say, did Greco do that to you?
See, wow.
That's just ignorance.
Now I got to tell you something too. So growing up Catholic, you want a glass?
No, that's fine. That's
Straw?
fine. Nope. I'm
Okay.
good.
So
Old school.
I like it. I love chocolate milk too.
Oh, I know. It's lifeblood for me.
Actually, my buddy, one of my best friends also is a huge chocolate milk fan, and he poured me a glass yesterday of a 2% chocolate milk, and
Ooh.
that is real rare, and it was fantastic.
Nice and
I don't know
thick.
the brand, but
More
yeah,
like a shake. Yeah.
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 So I'll tell you, I grew up, like I said, Catholic, and anytime I've gone to a church in Welland, whether it be for some kind of celebration, a funeral, or anything. The one that I think I've been to most is St Kevins. And I've never heard about this until that time at Welland Memes. And this happened how long ago?
First time Greco was charged was in 2010.
So Greco is
Donald Joseph Greco is the priest that had raped me from 79 to 82 at St Kevins Parish.
wow.
And even he was charged in 2010, and CU didn't even know about that. Three
No.
survivors came forward.
I've never heard about this
Yep.
until a few weeks, whatever ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's other. Sorry to interrupt.
No, definitely.
I'm trying to process it all because I find it so shocking that I'm in the community and I never heard
Remember
about
Father
this.
LeBlanc?
No.
Father LeBlanc was St. Kevin's Parish.
Yeah.
Had a cafeteria named after him at Notre Dame. They've taken all that down now because LeBlanc's been convicted.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's been other people.
Oh,
involved
there's 6 of us survivors with Donald Greco, and like I've said to people, pedophilia is not a part-time thing. And even the judge that sentenced him said, "When more come forward, we deal with it then." Even the judge says, "When more, not if." No. Because they just trickle out. They trickle out. People, look at me. I held it in for over 30 years.
So, how did this all happen? Like, did somebody else have a case with him and then were you?
Yeah, in 2010, I was waiting to be sentenced to 6 years in a federal institution for robbery.
2010.
Yeah. And
Okay.
a newspaper was put underneath my cell door, and it had Greco's face in it.
Where were you?
In Segregation in Niagara Detention Center.
In Thorold.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, sorry.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
And a paper was put underneath the door, and Greco's face was on it. And it just opened that door for me. And a gentleman's name from Dunville, his name was in the paper. He had the publication ban lifted. And because I seen his name, that's what had me come forward.
Wow.
So I had the publication ban lifted in my case with my name.
Publication ban is
The victims will never be, or survivors will never be named.
if they don't want to be.
Exactly, yeah.
But if you're okay with it.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I contacted the courts immediately. I contacted the papers, and they agreed that, yeah, no problem if you're okay with it.
So you're in the detention center, you see it, and you contacted who?
I asked the lieutenant, who was the lieutenant of the detention center on that shift, to contact the sexual assault center. They did. At that time was a Detective Divine that came and see me at the detention center, and just started slowly talking to her with every visit. More and more came forward, and yeah.
Was there ever any doubt from people that it happened?
Yeah, from 2010 until about 2015 when he was actually charged.
So when he was in the paper, he wasn't charged?
No, he was charged in 2010 with 3 other survivors.
Okay.
And that's what had me come forward, seeing a survivor's name.
Right.
So in my case, when I came forward in 2010, nobody else had come forward. So I wasn't believed. The Crown, the courts, the law, I'm in a prison.
Yeah.
Who's to believe me? I understand where they're coming from. Mm-hmm. And then 2 other survivors came forward, and they finally charged them, and the Crown called me in and had a good talk with me and said, apologized.
Yeah. So was he convicted?
Yes, he was convicted, got 18 months. He's out now on parole.
Did he admit to it?
Yep. Oh yeah, he turned around in court and read a victim or a sorry statement to me. Yeah.
Wow.
And you know what? From my days when I was going through that court and through that system, there's still an officer, a special officer there that brings people from the cells up to the court. I can't remember his name, but he's seen me and he remembered me out in the audience. And they took Greco after he was sentenced 18 months around the back. That officer stopped him, looked over at me and put the cuffs on him and then took him out.
Really?
And that is a bit of closure,
Right.
Feels good to see that. Yeah.
18 months
The second time. He got 18 months the first time, too, for 3 survivors.
That's a
Our laws are a joke, Joe.
pretty thin penalty,
It's
no?
horrible. It's absolutely horrible for historical sexual assault. Yeah, our laws in this country are horrible.
I'm not even really familiar with all this stuff, but 18 months.
Like, you can go into a bank with a note
Like, wait,
and get 10 years.
How long did you get for what you did?
Oh, altogether with 4 sentences was 17 years federal time. And a lot of it inside and then on parole also.
And your stuff was...
Robberies.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, robberies. There's many a people in Welland and the Niagara region that I violated their trust, was very deceitful.
Right.
You know, just pillaged the community. It was mine for the taking. So this here is kind of feels on the way to give back a bit, you know. And I've also had older officers pull over and say, at least we know where you are on Sundays now.
So today, we're probably going to put this out on Thursday, but today is Sunday.
Yeah.
And tell me what you do on Sunday. And
every Sunday, get up nice and early, get my shower, get dressed, figure out what I'm going to bring with me for the day. And then I get picked up at my place and dropped off in Welland. I live in St. Catharines.
Gotcha.
And I've had a driver for the last couple of years. And he's a great guy. I have a couple of them. And brings me down. I'm down about 7:45. I stay there. I try not to put any signs out until 8 o'clock because I know a few of the neighbors are upset with the horn honking.
Yeah.
I'm not breaking any noise ordinance. It's my right to be there. And I believe it's a very small price for society to pay to keep a spotlight on something like this.
So you go to St. Kevin's Church on Sundays.
Yes.
From 8 a.m. until...
Usually, like today, they have baptisms at 1:30. But because I was coming here to do the podcast, I'm skipping the baptisms. And the baptisms are important to me because a lot of the parents are Catholic, but only bring their kids to have them baptized so they can get into the Catholic school. I did that with my kids. A lot of people will not admit that, but a lot of people, that's the reason why they did it. And that's why we did it. So the parents that are coming in there are not regulars. A lot of them haven't read the story, so they don't understand it. So I look at it as maybe an education session.
So let me kind of process this a little bit. You go to St. Kevin's.
Yep.
You bring some signs.
Yes.
You stand or walk.
Yep, I just pace the front of the church.
So on the west side of the road, right in front of the church.
Right in front of the church, yep.
So people have to, do they go in the other door or through the front doors?
More people are using the side and back door than now that I'm out there.
So they don't want to walk by you?
Some people do, some people don't. Now that I've been out there so long, because I've been out there 10 months now.
Everybody knows who you are now.
Yeah, so more people are feeling a little more comfortable to come up and talk to me. And like today, I got like dozens of Happy Father Day. You know, so people...
Right, today being Happy Father's Day.
Exactly.
Are you a father?
Yes, I'm a father.
Oh, Happy Father's Day.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
No, I'm not yet, but yeah, glad.
Yet.
Not yet. Just got married in September.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yeah,
okay. Yeah, I have 2 great kids, McKenna and Dakota.
Nice.
My daughter's 18. My son's 20.
Wow.
We're 20 months apart, and they're amazing.
Wow. So when you're at the church, you started this 10 months ago. I'm sure you've had both all kinds of reactions.
Oh, negative and positive, definitely. The positive definitely outweigh the negative. Yeah.
That's good to hear.
Yeah. My first day of protesting was Bishop Burgee did a forgiveness prayer at the cathedral in St. Catharines, September 14th last year.
September 14th.
And it was a Friday evening, so I went there to protest him.
That's where you started.
That's my very first one. My very first sign said, "Why was Greco moved 5 times before caught?" Because we know what's on paperwork, but we really want to know what's on the paperwork.
Right.
So people going into the cathedral were not supportive. A gentleman was walking with his children, turned around and spit towards me.
Wow.
And then they go into service. So at the end of the service...
That's not
No,
very
it's not
nice.
No, not at all. Never mind, not Catholic nice. It's not human nice.
No.
So after the service, the bishop invited me into the foyer of the church. So one of the parishioners came out. I went into the church to meet him. He shook my hand and he asked...
invited you in?
Yeah, to the foyer of the cathedral.
Gotcha. Okay.
So all the parishioners, like 100 people milling around and stuff. People still aren't really looking at me. After the bishop touched me and shook my hand, people started rubbing and crying with me and hugging me. It was very cult-like, and it was strange.
Right.
And then that right there and then I thought, you know what? This spotlight's got to be shone. So from that Sunday right through till today, every Sunday.
Wow. What did the bishop say to you?
He asked for forgiveness on behalf of the church, and I gave him a business card. Not being a smart ass, I gave him a business card because I wanted to sit down with him like you and I are. Eye
Right.
to eye, face to face. Let's talk like
Yeah.
men.
Yeah.
And no contact, no nothing.
No.
Because of the civil suit I have against. That's the excuse they're using.
There's a civil suit.
Yeah, I have a civil suit against the diocese.
What does that mean? I'm not.
They're paying me.
So you're suing them?
I'm suing the diocese, the province, because I was in St. John's training school that the province ran with the Christian Brothers. Same thing happened there from 1985 to 1986.
So when did you start that? What's going on with that?
The suit a couple of years ago. It'll be settling pretty soon. I'm a huge thorn in their side. They don't want me out there.
Yeah, eh?
Yeah. My lawyers know there'll be a non-disclosure I'll have to sign. But there's no such thing as a non-disclosure that says you can't have other people protest for you.
Right.
There'll be a spotlight on this for a very long time.
I was not even aware of this part of everything.
Yeah.
Because all the comments and everything, there was so much. So that's been ongoing.
Yeah.
And you're getting close.
Yeah, it's getting close. Yeah, definitely.
When do you think that'll be done?
My lawyers are meeting in July with lawyers from their side. So I don't know if they're coming down from Rome or where they're going to come from, but
Wow.
going to be, yeah. I've had the Cardinal's office have contacted the law firm and asked me to stop.
Really?
They say just call Sully and ask him to stop. Call him yourself. Nobody from the organization is going to call and talk to me. Like the bishop, today's bishop, everywhere have been asking for a young audience to come into the church. They want a younger crowd to come in.
Right.
That's fantastic. And I agree with that. That's fine if that's what you want to do. But let's have some transparency. Bishop, let's you and I sit down on stage in universities and have a moderator. Let's have a survivor and the bishop of the day. And let's have transparency.
Yeah. Why do you think they're so hesitant?
I think this cut runs a lot deeper than I even know. Yeah.
It's because I don't even fully grasp why. That's what I mean. Like it's hard for me to think about why they would be against it because, like I said, when you asked me, I didn't even second think it, and that's why I'm having a hard time understanding why. Like I said, I'm born and raised Catholic, but I'm not like a hardcore. It's not like I go to church every Sunday.
And you know what? Subjects like that conflict people's belief in the religion, and that's not what I'm trying to do.
Right.
I'm just having people wanting to question things.
Right.
Question why is this still kept in the cupboard? You know,
right.
Why can't we discuss this? Why can't we talk about it?
Yeah, it's happened.
And I hope it's not happening now. I'm 99.999% sure it hasn't happened at St. Kevins Parish since I've been out there.
Right.
I've heard a lot about different parishes and different priests. I have heard absolutely nothing about Father Mulligan or Father Vijay Singh that runs St. Kevins Parish now. So for any listeners, just know that I think that who's in that church right now is fantastic people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So have you spoke to other survivors?
Every Sunday I have quite a few messages or people talk to me throughout the week, email me. Yeah.
Yeah, eh?
Yeah. Some that have come forward, some that haven't, some that are on the fence.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. And not just with the Catholic Church. You name it. You name the institution and it's happened or happening or yeah. And thank goodness for the hashtag Me Too movement. You know, it's brought a spotlight on a lot of things. Mm-hmm. It's with a movement like that, so many have come forward. I think a lot of the message has been lost in a lot of the celebrity when it comes to the hashtag Me Too.
Right.
Yeah, there's, with the Women's March and stuff that I absolutely support, it's always a star-studded cast.
The Women's March is?
In Washington, they had the Women's March after Trump.
And it is?
It just for women's rights, equal pay.
Gotcha.
Equality.
Gotcha.
Equality, yeah. Yeah.
Gotcha. So, you going on Sunday, every Sunday. Every Sunday?
Yeah.
It was cold in the winter.
Oh, it was freezing in the winter and cold and rainy, yeah.
And you didn't miss a Sunday?
No,
wow.
No.
So, your goal for going there?
My ultimate goal.
Ultimate goal.
Is to be able to get up to Ottawa, to the West Block, and ask our government of the day if they're willing to open a federal commission to investigate the dioceses across this country.
So what does that mean?
The government sits down and puts some people together and opens a commission, and they start going into dioceses and getting all the records and start looking at things. We've had 393 priests convicted in Canada.
393.
Yeah.
News to me.
Exactly.
And
all of this is public knowledge. Anybody can go to Sylvia's site online, and Sylvia keeps track of everything for everybody.
What's Sylvia's site? What is that?
She's this site is just somebody that keeps track of everything that's going on in Canada when it comes to the Catholic diocese.
Wow.
And she lists and takes care, like she puts down everything.
See, like growing up, I've heard of instances like this. You're the first one I've ever met, first one I've ever talked to. Mm-hmm. I didn't realize 393. That's a ton.
This runs, like I said, this cut runs deep, very deep.
Did you convicted? Yeah, convicted. That's
and that's all I'm asking the bishop to do, is to release in the media a list of convicted priests just from the region. Admit your faults, and I'll disappear.
And they haven't.
They won't.
It's so crazy.
I know. It's public record. These ones were convicted. Why not? It's like they just don't want to admit the guilt. They don't want to admit the association, you know.
But it's happened.
Yeah.
I don't even to me it's hard comprehending. Like, clearly they're fearful that the religion falls apart. Like, I don't even know. Would it?
If they were 100% transparent right from the Vatican down, I think you would draw more crowds. With the honesty, the transparency, these are our mistakes. We're sorry for these mistakes. These are all of the mistakes.
Right.
Let's move forward.
Now, I don't know if I can just say what happened to you is just a mistake. Now, what they're doing, it sounds... But you're right. Everybody makes mistakes. Yeah. You, myself,
I've
anybody.
had many parishioners ask me, once you forgive Greco, I said, I've forgiven Greco a long time ago. I've forgiven him. That part is over with. No, there's no closure. There's never closure for something like this. People talk about that. That's not part of who I am. The closure is in me doing this every Sunday and helping others.
Right.
You know.
Helping.
Yep, definitely.
So this happened. I just want to kind of grasp maybe a timeline of your life. This happened when you were a child.
9 years old, from the age of 9 to 12.
And you were living in Welland on Locust?
On Locust Street, yep. Like 500 yards from the church.
Going to school?
Going to St Kevins School.
St Kevins School?
Yep. From
St Kevins School you went... Did you go
to... grade 8, I had to go to Holy Name School because of my behavior. Starting to act up a bit.
Right.
That was right around 13, you know.
Right.
And then I was at Holy Name School.
Did anybody know?
No.
Nobody knew?
No. You don't... The way I look at it now is that my reasoning... like priests and anybody in the Catholic hierarchy were held to higher standards than your parents.
Right.
You know what I mean? You didn't go into a little room and confess everything to your parents. Mm-hmm. Like, they were held at a very high standard. So if I would have came forward and said something, who knows? I probably would have got a good beating from the old man. Nobody would have believed me.
Right.
Definitely, yeah. Nobody would have believed it. So because you feed on those fears, and it just goes deeper, deeper inside, and then it starts manifesting.
So who was the first person you told?
I tried to come forward in 2008 in somebody's dining room, and it didn't work out the way I wanted it to. So I just kind of left it, and it was at a point in my life where I don't think anybody would have believed it anyway, so I just kind of sloughed it off like they just, don't believe it.
Right.
And then in 2005, I came forward with St. John's Training School. I was Spotlight, the movie Spotlight. I don't know if you've seen that. It's about the Boston Globe, breaking about the deaf school in Boston.
No.
Father Murphy.
No, I don't
molesting
think I've
over
seen.
200 children, got moved to the Vatican.
I think I heard about it, but I haven't seen
Fantastic movie. Shortly after that, I came forward with St. John's Training School. I was sent there in 1985 for 13 months for breaking into houses when I was a kid.
Right.
and not stealing anything. I broke in with friends, and I think we stole some stuff, but it was a challenge to go in there when people were sleeping and leave.
Right.
We were kids just being idiots is what we were being.
Right.
So I got 13 months for it. And I remember the judge, Budgel, said to me, Mr. O'Sullivan, do you want to go to Sprucedale Training School or St. John's Training School? And I thought, St. John's. St. John's. Big mistake. I went to Sprucedale.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. Because we were older there. So I was 15, 16 when I was there. It was older, so it got more violent.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was more of a violent sexual assaults. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. And in the end, 1,700 boys came forward from St. John's and St. Alfred.
1,700?
The Christian Brothers ran it with the government. Yeah. And I think those numbers are probably low. Yeah. There's a lot of people that still haven't come forward, or a lot that have passed.
So you went from, St. Kevin's to
Holy Name School.
Holy Name, and then high school.
And then I went to Westbrook Secondary School for 4 months.
Where's that?
Westbrook used to be on Clare Avenue. They ripped it down.
Yeah.
Westbrook moved over, I believe, in 1990 to Welland High, and then it was called Westbrook for a while, and then they closed completely.
So after 4 months, you went
St. John's Training School. That's when I got 13 months.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah. My mom had passed in 85 too. She died in 85.
Sorry to hear that.
But she didn't know anything about this. Now she does, but
right.
Yeah, she knew nothing about it.
That's so intense.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to paint the picture. 8 years, so young, going through this, and then when it actually, you said it was in 2010. That's when you actually really.
That's when, yeah. In 2005, I came forward to St. John's Training School, and then in 2000.
So what happened there? What?
The government sent me $14,000. Hush hush money. Didn't need all the paperwork to say I was there and stuff like that. Money showed up in prison. A check for $14,000.
And that was
hush hush money. They want you to sign a silencer after that you don't talk to CBC, CTV.
Did you?
Anything. Oh, I'm allowed to swear.
You can say anything you want.
I wrote "fuck you" on the silencer and mailed it back to him and kept the money.
And they didn't rescind that you still got the money, even though.
When I was released, I went to a hearing in Toronto with my sister, and they awarded me another $6,000. So, and the maximum for criminal compensation is $25,000. So the 3 women on the panel, I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm not even worth 25 grand to you. Like, it was an insult. It was what it was. That's how I took it too.
So they give you this money, 20 grand, and now the case you have, do they take that into consideration or
yeah,
not?
you know, a lot of people don't know this, and they'll be surprised to hear this. The Criminal Injuries Compensation Fund, for any victim in Canada that can apply for that, if you were to sue, you have to give the government that money back.
What?
Yep.
I don't understand.
Exactly. If you sue in civil court and are awarded, you have to give that money back to the government that they gave you.
So what you're going through now?
Yeah. So once we settle, the government's going to want their money back.
So they give you money to give back to them.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't understand this.
Exactly. If you civilly sue and get awarded money, you're to pay them back the money that they gave you. So I'm definitely going to have another fight on my hands with the government. And if things like this
I don't understand.
I know. It doesn't make sense, does it? It
No.
just does not make sense at all.
So you have to, so is it a loan? What? I don't even
If
know.
I don't civilly sue, I never owe it. But because I'm civilly suing in this case and will be awarded enough, I'll have to pay them back.
The whole thing.
Yep.
So don't you end up losing money because you have to pay lawyers?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
But they want the money back.
Yep.
Do you have to give it back?
Well, it's what happens is that once the suit settles,
Doesn't even make sense.
I know the government gets the money, or my lawyers get the money, and then they have like a grid search to see if there's any money owed to the government for this, that, or the other thing. Well, that's going to come up, and I'm going to make sure that there's going to be enough media coverage on this for people to weigh in on it and weigh on, hopefully, the legislature and say, "Are you guys kidding me?" hopefully the criminal compensation fund is still around, because I'm told the foreign government's axing it.
Really?
Yeah.
So is it still 25,000?
Yeah. The maximum is 25,000 you can get. Anybody can apply that's been a victim of a crime in Canada and their perpetrator's been convicted.
So you've already got 20.
Yeah.
But you didn't pay that back?
No.
So, but you're supposed to?
Yeah. Once the settlement happens, I'm supposed to pay that back.
This next one?
Yeah. When my big settlement happens, I have to pay back that 20 grand to the government.
Oh, but what about this new, whatever the new settlement amount
Oh, no,
is?
that's mine.
You get to keep that?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Okay. It's still, I don't understand the 25,000 having to go back. So is it to help you pay for lawyers for...
I have no idea.
It doesn't make sense.
No, it does. It's a hush-hush fund is what it is. When you pull all the strings and everything back, to me, it's a hush-hush fund. Please be quiet. Don't talk to the media about what happened to you. Yeah.
So how has that been going with the media, dude?
The newspapers have been fairly good. I'm ashamed of CHCH, who is our local news coverage. They have not been out to the church once. 10 months, they have not covered this once. They covered the court case with Greco, but this is something that, I've contacted. I've sent emails off to CTV Hamilton, CBC Hamilton, CBC Toronto, all of them.
And?
CHCH called me. I talked to them on the phone. He said he was going to talk to his producers, and that was over a month ago. So I sent him another email, and I just said, please pass on to your producers, and I said, shame on them.
Right.
Yeah.
See, I've never brought a story to a paper before, so I don't know what the protocol is. I'm guessing they're looking for stories.
You'd think so. You'd think that this would be a story that they'd want to run maybe once a month and just give an update to people or
right,
something along those lines. But yeah.
I must say, well, I was not sure what you were going to be like in person. You seem like a really nice guy.
Thank you.
You seem smart guy. I didn't know. I had no idea what your agenda was coming in here. I didn't know what to expect. I wasn't sure if you were going to be smear campaigning. I didn't know.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
But I got to say, I respect where you're coming from and how you
appreciate it.
How you're going about this, because I had no idea. I even, well, I'll tell you a little bit too. I've been, because I'm out there putting out lots of content.
Oh yeah.
And I just started this podcast recently, and I've told some people that I'm having you on, and I've had an array of what people have said to me. I'll just share with you some of the stuff.
Absolutely, yeah.
I have surprised. One of the first people I told, I believe, is a member of St. Kevins, and I'm like, I wanted to see what she had to say, and surprisingly, she said, "This is a good idea." She said, "He wants to talk to you, so hear him out."
Yep.
And I said, "Yeah, that's what I'm." But I had somebody recently say, "He's coming over to your house. This is where you record, and you're going to have him there?" I said, "Yes." I said, "Are you going to have somebody there to make sure you're okay?" I said, "I'm going to be there with him." And they were kind of alluding to if I felt safe, like you violent. I said, "I have no reason to believe." I said, "As far as I understand anything, Will has been the victim of something, not..." Right? And I'm like, why would I be fearful? And since the moment at the door, I haven't felt any discomfort at all.
No.
I've had some people say to me, like, "Are you sure you want to do this?" Why wouldn't I?
Maybe some of those people are thinking of your reputation and how people are supported. Like the neighbors around St. Kevins, I am sure the majority of them I talk to are supportive. But I'm sure when I leave on Sunday and they're cutting their lawns and the neighbors out there and they talk about me, I'm sure it's not all good. And that's because of the horns, and that's fine. But I'm sure some people are worried maybe, Joe's reputation, having somebody like me on.
Yeah, I don't even know.
It has, and it's hard to understand that stuff.
Yeah, and it's wide array. I've had people say, "Don't do it."
Yeah.
And I just don't understand. And I'm happy that you reached out to me. I'm happy.
Oh, I'm ecstatic that you wanted to have me on.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah,
definitely.
I'm trying to think, because I've never the only time I've ever talked to anybody that's been a victim of something like this, it was a short conversation from a girl, and I'm not even sure. I clearly wasn't the first time she had talked about it when she talked about it, and it was a friend of mine, and the conversation didn't last too long, and honestly, I just like this, and like I talked to anybody, she almost changed the subject kind of quick.
Yeah.
So I don't, to this day, I'm not really sure if it happened or not, but she kind of talked about it in passing. But this is my first time having a longer conversation.
Be getting into depth of it, yeah.
Yeah. And so this happening to you now, clearly, like I said, it seems like you got your head on pretty straight. It seems pretty good.
You know what? It's good to feel proud of myself.
Yeah.
Because for years, just waiting for the world to cave in. You know, it might be a couple of years that things going good, but something's got to go wrong.
Right.
And that's just not the mindset anymore.
So you mentioned you've had some trouble with the law. And some trouble with drugs.
Oh, yeah.
Do you feel this is a result of what happened?
No, I don't blame what happened to me at all. Is it a contributing factor? Obviously.
Right.
Like Gabramonte is a doctor out in Vancouver, Lower East Side. He's been out there for over 25 years. He's been through the trenches. And this doctor is a hero of mine. And like he says, all trauma or all addictions rooted in trauma. Somewhere there's trauma. It may not be as bad to you as it is to this person, but there's some kind of trauma there that we need to get to. So when I was in corrections and the penitentiary or the provincial system, whoever it is, they have these programs of, you know, substance abuse and alternatives to violence and violence prevention programs. These are all just trimming the bush until you get to the root and rip it out like I did.
Right.
There's going to be the recidivism rate's just going to be the same.
So, drugs. You've been through some drugs. You mentioned heroin.
Oh yeah, I did heroin for a long time. Yeah.
So, I've never tried heroin.
Good.
Yeah. I hear it's highly addictive.
Oh.
I used to be a cigarette smoker.
Yeah.
I quit that about 3 years. Do you smoke cigarettes?
I'm struggling. Yep.
So you're still a little bit.
You know what? The worst addiction in my life is tobacco. I've never had another
It's a
addiction.
tough one.
Boy, is it ever.
Yeah.
Because it's socially acceptable and you're stressed out. You can light that up even before a joint on the street. It's more socially acceptable. You know what I mean? So
I'll tell you what helped me. I don't know if it would help you or not. I mean, if you've kicked heroin, you have the strength to do
Oh,
cigarettes.
I know. Yeah. Yeah.
What helped me, I smoked 20 years. I don't know. I started when I was young, grade school.
Mm-hmm.
Smoked up until about 3 years ago. My wife now, she wasn't at the time, fiance, girlfriend at the time. We decided we were going to quit smoking. And I don't know, maybe it was October or so. We're going to quit January 30th or 31st, whatever the last day. Mm-hmm. We didn't want to do January 1st to... Everybody does that. It's hard maybe wake up with a hangover.
The resolution,
yeah. Those get broken all the time. But as we were getting closer to the quit date, a couple of people, I was telling some people I'm going to be quitting smoking. This might be the last time we have a cig together. Mm-hmm. A couple of people mentioned the book, Easy Way to Quit Smoking. Have you ever heard of this book?
I've heard of it, yeah. Yeah.
You haven't read it?
I know, I've never looked at it, no.
It helped a ton.
It did, eh?
I was already in the mindset that I was going to be quitting come this date. And along the way, read the book. The book, written by a smoker. You smoked while reading the book. And if you want to smoke, by all means, you can if you want to.
Oh, okay, good. Thanks.
Just crack the window.
Yeah.
But
I'm surprised in a nice, beautiful home like this.
Hey, I mean, I don't smoke, but if somebody, it's fine. Like, it's all good. But
I'd rather take a break and go outside.
Well, if you want to,
I'd rather do that than smell up your house. Yeah, like that's how disgusted I am with smoking. You know what I mean? I don't even want to smoke in somebody's house. That
do you want to quit?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. The book helps.
You know what did help me? I quit for 4 years when I was married.
Wow.
What was it? I forget what it was called. It was like a little a shock. The doctor hooked up a little needle here.
A little shock therapy.
Yeah, a little needle here. Put a little electrode on it and turned it up. I was in his office for a couple hours. He came in every couple of times, turned it up a little more. And then when we were done, he put little seeds inside my ear with some clear tape. He says, you ever have a craving? Squeeze it. And I'm not joking. When I had a craving, I'd squeeze it, mouth with water, gone.
Really?
Yeah, so...
A seed.
Yeah, it was some kind of... It was a pressure point inside the ear.
Right.
That helps you with the craving of smoking. And it just... and it worked. It absolutely worked, so...
Well, I don't know. I'm not saying the book is going to work for everyone or anything or what, but it worked for me. Worked for my wife. It's worked for some other people.
Yeah, yeah.
But I don't know. I've never tried I've never tried any hard drugs. I'm guessing if you did heroin, you tried some other things.
Oh yeah, the whole gamut.
Is there anything you haven't tried?
Well, I did the designer drugs that are out nowadays, the Molly and ecstasy and stuff like that. That stuff came out after I was,
So you haven't tried ecstasy before?
No, that kind of stuff, no. But
so then, what is there? There's weed, mushrooms.
Yeah, peyote,
acid,
acid, peyote,
coke,
lots of coke, heroin, speed. Yeah,
I don't even know. DMT.
DMT, no. I've never tried DMT, which is, I believe, a main ingredient in ecstasy or Molly, one or the other.
I don't even know.
But DMT, they're starting to use in medical treatments for PTSD.
Yeah, I've heard that.
And, something I would never rule out under proper medical treatment, definitely. Yeah, to explore deeper.
So all these things you haven't, and alcohol.
Oh, yeah, alcohol, yeah. I never liked drinking, so I would drink until I basically forgot and then wake up the next day and find out who I insulted and who hates me.
Yeah, and 9 years not touching any of that stuff.
Nothing.
Except cigarettes.
Cigarettes and
cannabis.
Marijuana. Cannabis. Yeah, I call it cannabis. Marijuana is a racial term.
Is it?
Yeah, the American government. Actually, marijuana is a tobacco, but the U.S. government named it marijuana when the Mexicans brought it over.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. Part of reefer madness. Just imagine if our government would have pumped that kind of money into that they pumped in negative propaganda, if they would have pumped that into medical treatment.
Yeah.
You know how many people would be cured of cancer?
Yeah, it'd be amazing.
Yeah. We have a Canadian that's cured over 55,000 people with Rick Simpson oil, RSO.
What's that?
High THC content. Instead of chemotherapy, people take this. And it doesn't go into remission. They're cured.
THC, not the CBD.
No. It's got both, but high levels of it. Yeah.
And
THC is what kills the cancer cells.
Really?
Yes. Yeah.
CBD just kind of...
CBD helps along with the process. Cannabis is the only plant on earth that if you take too much of it, the CBD counteracts it. So if you get too high, the CBD in the plant helps bring you back down.
Really?
Only plant on earth.
I didn't know that.
The medical benefits of cannabis are absolutely amazing. We're just scratching the surface.
I've heard lots. One thing that I found interesting when talking to somebody about cannabis, not marijuana. So I call them marijuana sticks. I guess I got to call them cannabis sticks. But anyway, something interesting that somebody that's in the field that, I don't know, true or not, but what they told me was that having both ingredients, because there's other, I forget what they're called, cannabinoids.
Cannabinoids, yeah. Yeah,
but,
and there's a lot of them. We just mentioned the THC cannabinoid and the CBDA which are the main ingredients, but there's all kinds of CBD, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, all kinds of different.
Somebody was telling me that they all work well together.
Yeah.
That sometimes when people are taking the CBD oil, I don't know if it works or not or whatever, or what they said, but it kind of seemed like when you abstract it from everything else, it won't work as well if you leave it with everything.
Yeah.
Which I kind of felt, it seemed interesting. I don't know if that's true or not. Somebody was telling me about that.
Myself, I smoke joints and I enjoy smoking a joint, but I smoke it concentrates. So when people, especially the media, got a hold of it and they talked about shatter, they made it seem like a crack.
Right.
You have to heat up a part of the pipe and then drip it on there. Like almost, it looks like a crack episode maybe. But the shatter is the concentrate of the flower you're smoking. Mm-hmm. So you're not getting any of that combustible. Anything you combust with paper and flour, it's not good. There's all kinds of bad things in that. Right. So the concentrate pulls all of that out of there, and then you can just do a small little dab.
Right. So shatter is just a concentrate.
It's a concentrate of cannabis flower.
Yeah. Yeah.
Same thing with edibles. It's just, broken down to a butter, and they have butter machines now that you throw your flour in, makes your butter, and then you make all your cookies and everything with that butter. Fry your eggs with it.
Do you like the edibles as well?
I like them, but I go overboard because I'm a immediate gratification kind of guy. Pulling something from the substance abuse category. Right. Immediate gratification. So when I smoke a joint, I feel good immediately.
Right.
With the edibles, you eat, Nothing 10 minutes,
Where's
you
the
eat
buzz?
more,
Yeah.
and then 4 hours later,
Yeah, in the coach.
exactly, in the coach, exactly. Yeah.
That's hilarious. So you gave me this when you walked in here too.
Yep.
So talking about now, so this is this your own company?
Yes, Daco Macro Painting. My daughter is McKenna. My son is Dakota. Last name O'Sullivan. Daco Macro. Yeah.
So when did you start this?
I had a painting business called Colors Unlimited Painting, which was my brother Mark's business. He passed in 2013.
Sorry to hear that.
He was partners with Dave Luskout at Truck Toppers, and he used to do all the truck caps and running boards and all that kind of stuff. And Mark had Colors Unlimited Painting back in the 60s, 70s, 80s when he was doing his painting before he started working on trucks. So I took that name over. And then when I got out of the penitentiary, I started clean and fresh. That was it. I'm starting a new business, so I started this one here. And
did you start that? When did you get out?
I was released in September of 2013. I went to Stonehenge Therapeutic Community for 6 months. It's a 4-month program, but federal offenders get 6 months. A little extra time for us to adjust.
How was that? You
one
went
of the hardest things I did in my life.
Yeah,
You can't even swear there.
No swearing.
You get minutes, and those minutes you work off on the weekend mornings.
Okay, so even before, let me rewind a little bit here. You went.
I know I get all over the place.
No, and it's all good. I'm just trying to paint the picture. So you were in Thorold Detention
Thorold Detention Center, Niagara Detention Center. I was there until I got sentenced.
Right.
So I sat in Niagara my very last time. I sat there for, I think it was 4 or 5 months before I was sentenced to 6 years.
And then from there you went to...
From there I went off to Millhaven.
Right.
Well, first you go to Maplehurst and you stay there for a couple of days.
What's the differences between those three places? What's that like? So...
Respect.
Is there respect in Thorold?
No. There's no respect in the provincial system. You have guards standing on the striking line at Niagara South Detention Center. They refuse to go in because their work conditions are that bad.
Here in Thorold?
No, in Niagara South, the new detention center. They closed the Dawn, they closed the East, and they opened that. Holds like 1,800 inmates.
Where is it?
Scarborough.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Unsafe working conditions. So in provincial, it's 2 years less a day. You're getting out in 18 months, so guys don't. So
provincial's Thorold.
Yes, that's a holding center until you get sentenced.
Gotcha.
Once you
respect there.
There's like guards. There's just no. There's no respect. Guys are doing 2 years less a day, so they're leaving soon. 18 months is nothing to a guy doing some hard time. But in the federal system, you have a lot of lifers. You have a lot of guys doing double digits.
Right.
And these are the kind of guys that say good morning to the guards and talk to them, and there's a respect level there.
Because you're there for a while.
Yeah. So if you don't, you don't want to show respect, you're going to get put in check.
Right.
Yeah. So, and you don't have to be a brown noser and hang out at the guards and stuff like that. But
right. Just respectful.
There's a maintaining level of respect where that's, like an unwritten rule.
So when people are fearful of jail, they should be more fearful of prevention.
Oh, no, be fearful of it all.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely be fearful of it all. The problem with our detention centers, especially right now with our opiate pandemic that's happening, is there's no mental health treatment. Very little mental health treatment. Very little in the way of programming. If a chaplain comes in there for visitors, half the guys going to see him have, never even done the sign of the cross. They're just trying to get out of their cell to get time out to have some interaction with another human being. It's just, it's a wasted space. People that, the suicides and the overdoses that are going on, it's just crazy. So they had a rally at the Niagara Detention Center a couple of months ago. I went to that, and I'm putting one together for August 10th this year, which is International Prisoner Justice Day. And people talk about prisoner justice. This is about when, in 1973, a gentleman was put in segregation in Millhaven Penitentiary. Mm-hmm. And there's an emergency button in every cell.
I didn't know
that goes to the fishbowl, up to where the coppers are.
Right.
So if there's an accident or something, you can press that button. They were not hooked up in Millhaven. This man died of a heart attack in his cell. So the inmate said, you know what? Every August 10th, we don't go to work. We don't eat. We don't go to gym. You lay on your bunk. You watch TV. That's it. So that's their way of honoring brothers
Right.
and
Paying
sisters they've
homage.
lost, over the years. So I'm going to do one at Niagara Detention Center for mental health on August 10th.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, just to bring awareness to it, definitely.
So you went from Thorold, Millhaven,
Yep.
and then from Millhaven to
From Millhaven, I went to Workworth Institution in Campbellford.
what? How come a transfer there?
Because Millhaven, now it's not Joyceville. It was moved over to another institution, but at that time, Millhaven had a reception unit. So there's 3 units in Millhaven: A unit, E unit, J unit. J unit was for population,
Right.
bad guys that are in population, super max. The other 2 were reception units. So what they do is they would classify you for a mother institution. They call it Collins Bay, Joyceville, Fenbrook, Workworth, one of those. So you sit there and you wait for your assessment, and then you get shipped out to your mother institution. That's where you actually do your time.
So then you went to,
Workworth Institution.
and you were there for,
3 years.
and was that the rest of your sentence?
No, I got paroled. I got a day parole. I went to see the parole board in September of 2013.
Right.
And the parole board, I started off it with, regardless you give me parole today or not, in 6 months' time, I'm going to Stonehenge. So this
Right.
is just a formality. And it got me my parole.
Really?
Yeah, it was, regardless, it didn't matter. My situation, my headspace, everything was going to stay the same. It was just going to be a little delay in me getting to Stonehenge. That's all.
Right.
They thought, there's a bed there for you now. Give her.
So parole, what's that mean?
That means you're still finishing out the rest of your sentence, but a day parole would be into a halfway house, which would be a curfew in the evening. You have to return there. You can still go
In
to
the
work and all that.
community.
Exactly.
So that's where you went from there.
Yeah, I went from Stonehenge Therapeutic Community. Day parole continued, they said, which means I moved to St. Catharines to the Salvation Army 2nd floor. That's the boost center. It has like 16 beds for guys.
So then you were there for,
I stayed there for this time 3 months.
yeah.
And then instead of moving out of there, I moved down to the main floor. They had supportive transitional housing then. So I had my own little room, and it was like real baby steps to get back out to the street and actually live on my own again.
Is that a good process?
Absolutely, yeah. The cascading process when it comes to the system, if you get sent into a max and you go to a medium and then you can get to a minimum and then to a half, that's the way to do it.
This
Slowly,
is good?
gradually, definitely.
I don't know.
Definitely.
I'm not, yeah.
Yeah. Definitely a good system. And they're finally, like, all the federal systems had a farm. So Joyceville Institution had Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh took care
What do
of
you mean a farm? Where you
a
could grow
dairy
vegetables?
farm. Yep, they had a dairy farm.
Really?
But they made all the milk, beef, dairy, and eggs for all the institutions in Ontario. So it was a working farm for the federal institutions.
Right.
Good old Stephen Harper and Vic Taves, the conservative days in 2014, closed all the farms. So now you are paying for the milk for the inmates.
Hold on. So when the farms were open, everything there was for,
Self-reliant. So each farm supplied different things to institutions all over.
who, but the inmates didn't work on the
The
farm.
inmates did it. Yep.
They actually worked on the farms.
Oh yeah, 10-hour days, 6 days a week, whatever it was. Plowed the fields, grew the
I've
fruit,
never heard of
milked
this.
the cows. Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Did you do this?
I never made it to a minimum.
No.
no. I was an asshole when I was doing time.
Yeah.
But you gotta prove yourself, put on that mask, put on that face. You know what I mean? And just
Wait, what do you mean? Had
act like a tough guy. Be the tough guy. Hang out with the tough clique.
Is that what it's like in there? I've never.
You click up with guys, and it's not like the States. If you're white,
Because I've only seen
belong
on
to a white
TV.
race.
So
No, here in I made sure there was no race barriers between me. I belonged to BIFA, Black Inmate and Friends Association. Only white guy that belonged that was in the group.
Right.
But everybody was welcoming. There's no lines when it comes to race,
right.
like it is in the States. It's very bad in their system.
Do you think you'll ever go back to jail?
Never. I will on this side. I will get in there with a survivors program eventually. Yeah, eventually.
You're pretty passionate about that.
It's gonna happen. It's an itch I can't scratch. Yeah.
So, what would you like to do in there?
Talk to the guys. Lived experience. Been there, done that. I lobbied the school board a year ago.
Which school board?
District school board, not Catholic.
Right.
About me going in and talking to them about lived experience. Had a meeting with the school board. They're all on board. They haven't even called my references to see if this is a good idea. My references are waiting by the phone to say, yes, let him come in and talk to your grade 9 health classes, please. The guy's OD'd. He's done time. He's been there and done that.
OD'd too.
Twice, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Well, I don't even know. Like, Tell me about this. I don't.
Overdose in a crack house, like a drug house.
What don't people die when they OD?
Well, not all, no.
So you OD twice but lived. Obviously, you're here.
Yeah.
So what did you OD on?
Heroin.
Heroin.
Yeah. Actually, heroin and the another one was heroin and Dilaudid together.
I don't even know what that
Dilaudid is an end-of-life cancer pill to take away pain, like 10 times stronger than morphine. Yeah.
How did you survive, especially twice?
Just the first time was paramedics that came to the place, and the second time was people bringing me into the bathtub and banging my head off the bathtub and throwing cold water on me and getting ice on me, and
that's
like literally somebody with a handful of ice cupping my balls
to bring you back.
Yeah, when you overdose, your brain forgets to tell your lungs to expand and contract. That cuts off. So if you can get, and that's what happens. Like I've reversed overdoses since I've been sober, putting naloxone up people's noses and they come to. I got hit once by a guy because you take away their high.
Right.
So
he was upset.
Very upset. Yeah. And naked, ran down the street.
Holy.
He just kept going. And I reversed a couple overdoses. It lasted a while that they just refused medical treatment after. And it's sad. It's a shame. The medical shows up there and does what they have to do. And
well, you've been through some shit.
Oh, yeah.
Holy.
And that's why I want to get in and talk to the students. I told the school board, you guys either do it on this platform or you'll see me out on a wooden box in your soccer field with a megaphone.
Right.
It's up to you. It's how I approach this.
Right. Let's work together.
Exactly. Why wouldn't you want to work with me? So it always comes back for me to Greco and the Catholic Church, and people just don't want to rub on that. You know what I mean? They don't want to be associated or...
I don't get it.
I want to put a shout out to April Jeffs and say thank you to her.
Yeah?
Yeah, she stopped at the church and she's willing to back me to get up to Ottawa to ask a question.
Really?
Definitely.
Nice.
Yeah.
April sat in that very chair right there.
I watched the interview. Yep.
Did you?
Oh, definitely. Yep.
Yeah?
Yep.
Nice.
I've had a number of politicians, I won't name, that
Yeah.
were all on board before the election. As soon as the election happened, nobody even returned an email. It's sad.
I don't even know. I don't even know what to think about that.
Do you know anything about the safe consumption sites?
No.
Where you can use drugs, and you bring your drugs in there. You can use them under supervised.
Oh, I've heard.
We have one in St. Catharines now.
First, I was thinking websites when you said it, but actual physical.
A safe injection. It's like a consumption site where you can go in with your drugs. You won't be judged. You can do your hit there, and medical staff are there to make sure you're okay. They've reversed. I'd like to say at least 24 overdoses in St. Catharines so far since we opened up the site there. But before they opened up the site, Walter, our mayor in St. Catharines, said to me on a Facebook forum that the city has done all they can when it comes to a safe consumption site. I called bullshit on that because every region in Canada had a federal exemption status they could have applied for. So Hamilton, Toronto, they applied for these things. That's why you started seeing pop-ups in Gage Park. The reason why we didn't get pop-ups is because we didn't apply for this federal exemption. So you're a philanthropist with thousands of dollars and you're willing to do this, get the proper medical staff. We could not do that. So no, Walter, you didn't do enough. So I dressed in a 9-foot needle. I made it overnight. I made a 9-foot needle costume and I put all the safe consumption site stats, went right down to City Hall, plunked it on the front door. His staff used the side door all day.
Really?
Yeah. The secretary I did talk to, I said, you can pass the message on that if somebody in this fucking building lost a child to overdose, they would have done more. So don't tell me you've done enough. And then like a couple months later, we got the safe injection site.
Wow.
That's on a yearly lease now. Yeah, which is great.
So you helped with
no, I don't think I helped with it, but I helped bring awareness.
Right.
A lot of people stopped that day and looked at it, and Vancouver's had a safe injection site now since 2005. And since 2005, they've reversed 3.4 million overdoses.
Reversing means that somebody overdosed.
Somebody overdoses, they're going into cardiac arrest, or they're not breathing.
There.
You give them naloxone, the nostril. They used to do the injectable. You go right through the jeans like an EpiPen. But now they do the nostril ones and give you a shot up each nostril.
And that brings you back.
Sometimes. When I've done a reversal, I put 2 in each.
Really?
So they're coming back. You're coming back, man. Yeah.
That's intense.
And there is, believe me, there is other people out there, United Niagara, who started after we had the unfortunate suicides off the Burgoyne Bridge. Mm-hmm. A lot of mothers, sisters, brothers, fathers got together and started that group. They have MAPS meetings, which I'm sorry, but I'm not sure what the acronym stands for. Mental Health Awareness, and they have them every week. So there's other people that, just go out with their knapsack on their bike and pick up needles. They might be on disability,
right?
But they're doing what they can. And those are the heroes in our community.
Wow.
Some of them.
Yeah.
Last time my daughter came over to my place, a few of her friends, we go down to Centennial Park in St. Catharines. They call it Totem Pole Park in St. Catharines. And we go down and pick up needles. That's my outing with my daughter.
Yeah. So she's passionate about this.
Oh, very, very. Yeah. Like I kind of use my foot and push the bushes apart, and that's where you see a needle, and that's where your dog gets poked, and the doctor doesn't check for Hep C because dogs don't get hepatitis C, but your dog's died. Nobody knows why. Like, these are the reasons why, the domino effect.
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah, if I see them, I pick them up, throw them in a pop bottle if I don't have a Sharps container, and I'll bring 3 or 4 full pop bottles down to the pharmacy. And
was that where?
Yep. You can go into any pharmacy and ask for a Sharps container. They'll give you one. Right. Any pharmacy. Yep.
And then what do you do once you put them in there?
You take the Sharps container home, and if you see a Sharps, you can pick it up. A lot of people just won't touch a needle because it's gross and
could be dirty or whatever.
Exactly. It could have something on it. So I just kind of grab my cuff and pick it up and put in what I need to.
And then once it's in the Sharps container, how do you discard that?
Bring it right back to your pharmacy, and they take the whole thing.
And they'll take
and they'll
it.
give you a brand new one. Yeah.
Huh?
Any pharmacy. You can walk into any pharmacy.
You're teaching me a whole bunch of things here.
And this is what this is for, Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah. And naloxone, that reverses overdoses. Any pharmacy you walk in, they'll give you a kit.
Really?
Yep.
For free?
Yep. Instructions how to use it. The government made it free. Good thing the Liberal government's done is they made naloxone free. And a lot of people will argue with this point, but there is heroin addicts in Vancouver that are getting legal heroin now from our government that comes over from Afghanistan.
I didn't know this.
These are people that cannot use methadone. It's almost like the heroin's become, or what they use has become part of them.
Methadone is to help you get over.
Yeah. And that's
methadone's addictive too, isn't it?
Methadone is liquid heroin, but it's legal. So our government makes money off of it. It's a 3 to 5 year program. There's people on methadone for 20, 25 years. The pharmacy, the doctors, it starts at the top and it trickles down. So
you know a lot about a lot of stuff.
I try, you know what I mean? I try to educate myself. I try to weed through the silliness online and try to find the facts. Yeah.
How do you know so much about this stuff?
Education, wanting to educate myself about it.
When you were inside, did you learn stuff?
I started there, yeah.
Yeah?
I was on the inmate committee, so I ran the healthcare. I was the healthcare rep. So I made sure that, I did suicide watches and stuff like that. Guards would lock up at night, let me out, check on guys, make sure everything's okay. They're in good headspace. I ran suicide prevention programs. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. How old are you?
I'm 48.
48.
Yeah. Be 49 in October.
Happy early birthday.
Thank you. When's your birthday?
The day we release this podcast. Thursday.
Oh, really? Thursday? Eh?
Yeah.
Happy
20th.
Happy birthday, definitely.
Thank you. I don't even know. You're like a wealth of knowledge. I don't even.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
What are some things that you'd like to talk about, or something you'd like to talk about?
My journey that's the reason the biggest reason to come on here was my journey and try to explain to people and educate them about why I'm out in front of the church, and where my journey's taken me and how I've ended up.
Right.
Always know there's hope.
Yeah. So
4 penitentiary sentences later, you don't think people wash their hands of me? There's still people in society who are like, just wait. It's only been a few years. Just wait. Sorry guys, I'm going to prove you wrong.
So did you, I'm trying to think of this. When you spend all your time in jail, did you make more friends or enemies, or like what? I don't even know what that kind of culture is like. Do you still talk to any of the guys?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I have my phone. My phones have guys calling on the phones. You can only have one phone number per inmate. So I might have a guy on my house phone, another guy calling a cell phone.
What do you mean one number per inmate?
You're only allowed. It's pretty strict in there. So you have a PIN list that you have approved numbers on
that you can call.
Yeah, and you have a card, like a white card with a black strip on it. And every month you're allowed to put as much money as you want on that card. And each call's like 10 cents a minute or whatever it is. Bell Canada charges, but each guy can only, so I can't have 4 guys calling my cell phone. It's not allowed. You're not allowed to have all those numbers.
Gotcha.
But I still get a lot of mail. A lot of guys, a lot of lifers that are true friends.
Yeah, eh?
Yeah. Like I have a friend in right now that was doing a life sentence, got parole, was out for a long time, doing fantastic.
A life sentence is 25 years.
Life sentence? No, life is life.
Life is life.
Life is life.
I thought life was 25.
No,
is that America?
You can get life 8.
What's that?
That means after 8 years, you see the parole board.
Okay.
But life is life, man. It's harder doing time out here than it is inside. So you're on parole for the rest of your life. Your analysis every week, visiting your parole officer, psychology program. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So he got out on parole, doing fantastic, back with his wife, kids, working, leaving the halfway house, going to his wife, stopped at Tim Hortons. They pulled his parole because he didn't say he was stopping at Tim Hortons to get a coffee. He's in on his 13th year on that revocation.
Wow.
Like, how good does our system work? Are you kidding me?
For going to Tim Hortons?
Because he didn't write it down. The guy was doing fantastic. You know what I mean? So
that's tough.
It is. And I know there's people out here that are listening or that'll watch this that just have no sympathy and they don't care. And these are human beings.
Yeah. So when you got out the last time, did you try to get a job before going to painting?
No.
Because I'd imagine trying to get a job for people coming out would not be easy.
Oh, no. It's not at all. But the supports I had were good. And word of mouth. And people willing to give me another shot.
Yeah. So you're painting full time?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? So you paint...
Actually, I'm doing the Niagara Airport soon. I got to do the washrooms there at the Niagara District Airport and Niagara on the Lake.
Niagara on the Lake.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So that keeps you busy.
Oh, yeah. I just finished a place in the Falls. I do a lot of work for Rockstar Realty. Shout out to Rockstar. You're lucky for the advertisement. But realtors from there will buy a house, have you go in there, do it up for them, and then do what they got to do.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I just try to picture what it's like for people coming out, how hard it would be. Like, that's why I understand you talking about the process of going from...
Yeah, cascading throughout the system. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because I can only imagine coming out to do almost anything. There's a criminal record check. To volunteer, you have to do a criminal record check.
I can't even be a big brother.
Can't even be a big brother.
Even though I have kids and, there's never been an issue with anything like that, I can't be a big brother. That sucks,
That does.
Sure it does.
So that's why you have to do so many of these things on your own, right?
Yeah, exactly. Or, who knows? Maybe I'll ask my son in a couple of years if he'll sign up to be a big brother, and then him and I can go. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's what it's about, helping them out. Definitely.
Right.
Yeah.
It's pretty intense.
Can we take a break?
Of course. Well, if you want to take a break, I think I don't edit these. So if you want a cigarette break, by all means, I think you should just have one.
And I'm gonna.
Yeah.
Then I am.
If you can open the window, let's see. Let's get this open.
Everybody understands Joe is allowing me to smoke in his beautiful home.
Of course.
And his wife isn't home. That's
she's not here. So
that might be key.
I hope that didn't unplug anything. Is everything still going?
Yeah.
Let's see. Still going. Yeah, there should be a crank. Yeah, it's not exactly the easiest.
That's all right.
Yeah, perfect.
I'm used to difficulties. You persevere.
Yeah, I like it. There's 2 ashtrays here. Here's one that my one good buddy at 905 Rentals, he made that one for me, and then a friend of mine just gave me this one too.
Nice antique one there.
Yeah.
Didn't you have something online about wanting an ashtray?
Yeah. So
that's what this is for, right?
Yeah, exactly. So if anybody wants to enjoy whatever it may be, but yeah, my one buddy gave me that one, then another one gave me this. I don't even really smoke, but now I have 2 ashtrays, so
that's fantastic.
Yeah, you can try them both out.
Here. There we go. Keep it toward the window.
You might be the first person that, since the house has been finished, to smoke in here. But I remember when the guys were working in the house, they were definitely smoking.
Oh, yeah. The contractors will work. Once the paint starts on the house, that's when the sub usually says, okay, no smoking in the house.
So, you've painted houses.
I don't work for builders no more.
No? Tough working for builders?
I don't like the homes being built nowadays.
What, the quality?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, a lot of people
I'm not going to name builders, but there's builders that, there's maybe two in the region that I would work for, and it would be a custom house that they're building. That's why I would do it.
Right.
But other than
Not
that,
the high production stuff.
no.
Yeah.
No, I used to do that. What a runaround. What a babysitting job.
So when you paint, what's that even? Is it like Monday to Friday? Do you work weekends or
Monday to Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sundays off.
Sundays off. Yeah, I booked them off. I used to work 7 days. Work as much as I could.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you ever go to church?
No.
That you don't.
No.
That's done.
That's done.
When did that stop?
See, this is a part where I have to be very careful on what I say because I don't want to insult people, definitely.
No problem.
I don't call myself an atheist or an agnostic. I call myself a realist. I want science. I want proof.
Right.
So, like I said to my my ex-wife, Marina, who is my best friend, I have to try to stay off the subject of the Bible.
Yeah, I understand.
I don't know. I stopped believing in those things.
So, regardless of that, what I can sense from you...
My God is John Lennon. And I have a huge portrait right there of him.
Beatles.
John Lennon.
Nice.
I like the Beatles. I love Lennon.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Something I can feel for me, like I said, growing up Catholic and studying different religions, the most common theme I found in them all is treat others how you want to be treated.
Exactly.
I get that sense from you. So
yeah,
this is what I find important with life in general. Is I think that everybody has something to offer. Mm-hmm. I think that everybody holds they're smart in their own ways. They have their own experiences, and when they're able to share them with other people, these are good things.
Exactly.
There's good takeaways from everyone.
Yeah.
Anybody is able to teach somebody something.
Exactly.
So, I don't think you have to side with a religion to have those traits. And
no.
I see that.
And what I do on Sundays is not about God. It's not about Jesus. It's not about any one faith even. Mm-hmm. Because I'm in front of St Kevins Parish, that's where it happened to me. And it's a very busy street. Let's face it. I get great support there.
Yeah.
So it's about the secrecy within that institution and how they continue the secrecy. That's what this is about. We want transparency. I would love to see a ex-cop or an ex-JP sitting on the board of the diocese. Justice of the peace. Yeah, a justice of the peace. Maybe a retired one sitting on the board of in the diocese. The church bishops last week announced that they have a new sex abuse hotline. Guess where it goes to? The church.
Oh, yeah?
The church investigates the church. They always have. 4 words. All survivors around the world are waiting to hear from the Vatican. 0 tolerance and civil law.
Right.
Quit with your canon law and punish them by the way God would or Jesus would.
Canon law is within.
Biblical, within the church, But civil law, that's the police. You don't call your bishop, you call the Niagara Regional Police.
So one of the things I'm thinking that would be fearful of that is bringing transparency would be expensive.
So are the suits that survivors are launching.
Right.
The diocese from July of 2017 in the United States only to July of 2018 paid $301 million in lawsuits.
In the States.
In the States only. So what's more expensive?
Yeah. I don't know.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's so crazy.
The Vatican still won't open. My law firm I have been fighting for decades to get files out of the Vatican. I call my lawyer the priest slayer, Rob Talek. He's out of London and he goes after the diocese. That's what he does, and he does it great. Really? A documentary just came out on CBC Docs called Pray. It's about a survivor from Windsor that Rob represented.
Right.
And he even says in the documentary, in the end, it could cost him for the law firm to be able to do this. But he ventured forward, and sure enough, he was awarded $2.6 million. So
really,
yeah.
So intense.
Yeah, and the money, when the settlement happens, then I can investigate the church. Like I told the law firm, you guys do your little bit of investigation to be able to get me my settlement, but then I'm going to go in depth. I'll get private investigators to go in depth.
So you're not finished after?
Oh, no.
Even though that they might try to have you sign something?
Oh, they will. Yeah. I can hire a protester. I'll have somebody out there.
And that's allowed?
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
that won't be in a non-disclosure. Yeah.
And then you still want to investigate more.
Yeah.
Does it ever end? Does this ever end? Is there an end?
Not right now.
No.
No. There may be, but yeah.
Not yet.
No, there's the spotlight has to keep shining on this. It
Yeah,
just, no matter how painful or how disgusting or how vile people may think it is, it needs to be discussed. Abuse of children needs to be discussed.
So you kind of mentioned it. It's making me think that this happens not just within Catholic.
Oh, no. This happens in all denominations. Boy Scouts of America just came forward, 343 survivors. And when you have an article released saying there's 343 adults that were children that were abused by their scoutmasters all at once, 343, that number is probably very, very low when you can get all them together in one article. Do a little more investigation. The Catholic, I was thinking of this summer maybe going to a couple of Bible camps because the diocese in Canada has lobbied our government, federal government, for grants to keep these Bible camps running.
Yeah.
So once I dig a little deeper, if I find out the government's giving the money, maybe I'll make my opinion noted outside their property at the camps.
Right.
Yeah. I have a few people. The shirt here I have.
Yeah.
It makes a bold statement, which it's supposed to, but I have a few people that say I'm going to get shot because of it. I'm like, if I was in the States, maybe, but...
So the shirt is #church2.
Yeah.
And it's a picture of
3 priests. You can't see their faces, but you can see their collar. And they're covering 3 altar boys, or 3 young boys, ears, mouth, and eyes. Hear and see and speak no evil. It's the absolute truth. I'm wearing nothing but fact.
Right.
So, yeah. Took me a while to find out, but mixed styles, Hartzell Road, St. Catharines, man, #1.
But they made it?
Yeah.
Nobody wanted to
would
make
touch
it.
No.
Yeah, it's intense.
Nobody would touch it. And it's just, the shirt companies that told me they would, and I'm like, sorry, you're part of the problem. Well, our management, call your manager. I'll talk to him right now.
Right. See, that's a thing that I think some people might have been worried with me having this conversation, because with this, like I said, I'm happy to see that you're not just on a smear.
Not at all.
It's enlightening to see that you're just sharing and
trying to educate.
Yeah,
that's it. It's education's key.
Yeah,
I was ignorant for decades on all kinds of subjects, race, LGBTQ, all of it. Just ignorant and just didn't care.
Right.
But once I started getting educated about these things, you begin caring.
Yeah. Exactly.
You can't help but care. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is intense.
Yeah. I'm glad I came. I'm really glad I came.
I'm trying to think what else. What other things you'd like to touch on here? Is there?
Just
this might be a little bit. You said you don't blame what had happened.
No.
Now, have you ever thought about if it didn't happen?
Oh yeah, I always.
What
hindsight's 2020. What if I would have came forward and told my mom? What if? Yeah.
And you're.
I work through that in journaling.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do a lot of journaling.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah. Daily or?
Oh yeah, multiple times sometimes.
Really?
Daily. Yeah. So,
and I'll tell you too. I found it pretty interesting. You made a couple posts leading up to today that you were coming on.
Yeah.
And I've had people message me with supporting that I'm having you on too, which was pretty
good.
Yeah, refreshing.
Good.
People saying that a lot of respect that you're having Will up to. I even had somebody talk to you today, took a selfie with you today.
Yeah, I forget his name, but
Mike.
He had messaged you. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, I'm going to Joe's after. He's like, hey, take a picture with me. I'll send it to Joe right now.
Yeah.
I'm like, perfect. Yeah. Yeah, I've had people at Christmas time from Europe, Germany that were visiting family, and they told me that the story trend there. So wherever it can go, wherever it can get to, whoever it can touch.
So every Sunday.
Yeah, every Sunday.
And what's maybe some of the best and worst things that have happened
I've had coffee thrown at me. I've been spit in my face, spit on my beard and stuff.
from people going in?
Yeah, people walking by. One guy going in spit on me. Another guy going in spit towards me. Another gentleman came out of the church with his...
How do you react to that?
Oh, I vibrate a bit. God loves you. Peace. But yeah, I vibrate a bit and get upset about it. But there's nothing I can do about that.
No spitting back or throwing
No,
punches?
I can't do nothing like that. No, I
Yeah,
don't shoot
that
a
wouldn't-
finger at anybody. I
that
don't say
wouldn't-
fuck you or...
That wouldn't relate
That's
the
not
message
what this
well.
is about. No,
Yeah, that's good that you can
My
keep
rain
control.
poncho has a humongous peace sign on the back. You know what I mean? Just to let people know that I'm a peaceful protester.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's good because if you... I can't imagine any of this myself, for me.
Yeah.
But I have European roots. Somebody spit at me, I'd have a hard time controlling myself.
Oh, it is hard to control. And the old me would never. You know what I mean? I had a guy that came forward a long time ago about sexual abuse, and he has contacted me on my Facebook. I blocked him now because he just kept defending the church and wasn't really understanding my message. And he actually came out to the church a couple of weeks ago and followed me for about an hour. I had to call the police. The police couldn't do anything about it. Following me, just saying the nastiest things.
Really?
The nastiest things to me, yeah.
Really?
And he's also a survivor of clergy abuse. But he never found justice in the courts. So
what's he angry with you about?
maybe because I found justice and I'm able to voice myself the way I am and he's not, so he's angry about it. A lot of people that go by and shoot me the finger, not a lot, but the people that do, I try to chalk it up to maybe they know something. Maybe they've been involved in something as a child. Maybe they know of a family member. And this may be just stirring up waves that makes them angry.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, yeah.
So, but definitely more people.
Oh, yeah. Like I was saying about that gentleman walked out. He had, I think it was his 2 grandchildren. I was walking by. I walk right on the curb, like foot in front of the other one when other people are there. I make sure I give them room. I hold the doors for ladies all the time. This guy walks by and he nudges me in the shoulder. He goes, "Isn't fucking enough enough?" And I turned around and I said, "It's comments like that that'll keep me out here for another year." He goes, "Yeah, till you get your fucking money." And I said, "Yeah, you won't see me, but you'll see other protesters out here." He was standing with a 7 and 8 year old little girl saying this stuff. The mother of the child, which probably his daughter, was trying to pull him away. Like, just so ignorant. And just, it was a shame. Other people ask, "You got nothing better to do on a Sunday?" I love NASCAR and football. There's all kinds of things I can do on a Sunday. Believe me.
There's lots of good things.
This is what I've been directed to do by John and my journaling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I talk to John Lennon every day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
People say that's not God. Why does my God have to conform to your God?
Whatever your beliefs are is what your beliefs are.
Exactly.
I'm not personally an advocate of people trying to push their beliefs on other people. If you have beliefs and you want to, like, you discuss them, but people this is part of being human, choosing what you want to believe in or not believe in, or live your life the way you want to.
That's right.
Yeah.
I have people that come out of the church. A couple of ladies will come out and they'll pray over me, sit there and pray with me. And I don't say, no, I'm not going to pray. Of course I'm going to sit there and listen to them. Definitely. It makes them feel a lot better. Definitely it does. And who knows, maybe the prayer is helping me.
Yeah, what are they praying for?
Just for me to find comfort and solace in life. And
this is fine.
Yeah, definitely. Nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
I'm comfortable and I have solace in life. I feel fantastic.
Yeah. Hey, you have a good presence, Will.
A lot of people think that there's anger and hatred and there's nothing like that. I'm over that. I'm far past that. Yeah. I've forgiven Greco for what he's did.
Wow.
What really bothers me is that he's living in a place in Brantford where the people upstairs have grandchildren come visit, and the judge said to him, just make sure the basement door is locked because he lives in the basement of an apartment. That bothers me.
That he's so close to.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't even. I thought that when released, they
Yeah, he
had
has
to
to
be
be.
so
Yeah,
far
he has
away.
to be away from this, that, and the other thing. But the judge allowed that. So I know
I don't
it
even know.
boggles the mind. I tell people, at least we got Greco. Do you know how many Grecos are walking the street that you don't know about, that you pass and that
This
drops a quarter and you pick it up and give it to him in the no frills line? Do you know how many Grecos there are out there that we don't know about? So let's be thankful we have our Grecos and our LeBlancs, and we've found these ones at least.
See, and you bring this up, and this relates to not just this kind of activity. There's a lot of people that have done a lot of things that have never been caught.
No, no, no.
Just because somebody, this brings up an interesting topic. This is somebody that's been to jail and out is frowned upon. When I say frowned upon, it's hard to find a job, volunteer, be a big brother.
Yeah.
But there's people living with us day to day that have done things way worse than what you've done.
Yeah, yeah. And
But no, people don't. Whether this.
I look at, see, the priesthood, when people are called upon or have the calling from their God or whatever that is that gets them to go to the seminary and become a priest, I wish there could be a statistic. And this may offend people, but I want to know how many are called by God and how many know it's a way to perpetrate. You know what I mean? Like, how many actually had the calling of God and how many put on the face of the calling of God just to get to kids like me?
I can't.
Sick, eh?
I've never even thought about that.
It's a sick statistic to think about, but it's.
I don't even know how you could ever figure it out.
You couldn't.
Yeah, you can't because who's going? I don't know. People admitting these things. I don't know.
That's the thing is
I've never even thought about somebody pursuing that for that reason.
I've hoped by now the floodgates would open, but it's still a trickle. It still just kind of trickles out of the Vatican and of different churches and different press agencies and stuff like that. And the Catholic Church has got a lot of clout. Yeah. Yeah. They can shut down a lot of stuff.
Yeah, lots.
It makes me wonder about the school board. Like, I know it's a public school board, but like, why has nobody ever contacted me? I've called the lady back a couple of times and asked her, I'm really disheartened that you haven't contacted my references at least. Why don't you want me talking to your grade 9 classes? My whole presentation was I want to talk to the parents first.
Right.
So the parents know who's going to be talking to their kids and how I'm going to talk to their kids.
So here's a small opportunity then, because I'll tell you what, I can only imagine this being a concern of theirs. What are you going to say?
Yeah, and I presented that to them. And I told them, I'm not a hypocrite, so I'm not going to be here to tell kids not to do drugs.
Right.
I'm here to tell them, if you're going to choose the road, there's 2 avenues, death or institutions. And this is my experience with it.
Right.
I want to bring a positivity shirt in there with my phone number on it where kids can draw peace signs and stuff. If some kid has a question, call me. I'm not a psychologist. I have no paperwork, but I could probably route you to the avenue where you can talk to somebody.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So in a perfect world, what would you be doing? You would be in schools.
I'd be talking to grade 9 health classes.
Grade 9.
I'd love to get into grade 8, but I think I'm a little too rough for them. So grade 9 health classes.
Makes sense.
Yeah. And just talk to the kids,
For one time, multiple times?
As much as I can.
So maybe one time per school?
Yeah. You know what? I had an officer that held a gun to my head last time. I don't think I can say his name, but he pulled over at the church and brought me a coffee a few weeks ago. And I asked him to watch the documentary. And
where can the documentary be seen?
It's on YouTube. It's #MeToo with a question mark. That's all capitals.
Let me just see if I'm able to find it.
Yeah, you might be able to. I didn't put a lot of additives to it where it would pop up right away.
Yeah.
So, but you can find it on my Facebook page at William O'Sullivan.
So
it's #MeToo with a question mark, and that's all capital.
Okay.
And then lowercase, one boy's journey through clergy sexual abuse to manhood.
One boy's journey through
clergy sexual abuse.
Clergy sexual abuse
to manhood.
Manhood. I don't know if I'm very good at spelling anything.
I'm not.
No. Yeah, here it is.
It can read up?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, William O'Sullivan, published April 27, 2019.
Yeah.
So, sorry, you said police officer, he came up to you,
Yeah,
gave
and
you
he
a
talked
coffee?
with me, and he absolutely 100% would back what I do. And he said to me that to this day, he still uses my story of the interrogation room. Years ago, I robbed a Mr. Sub on Niagara Street. And
In Welland?
yep,
Wow.
at knife point, 17-year-old girl.
Wow.
Told her there was a marksman across the street with a gun on her. She calls the police within 5 minutes after me leaving. She's dead. She quit her job. Horrible anxiety. I was a criminal. Didn't care when this officer was questioning me. Just didn't give a shit about any of it.
You were a different person.
Nasty, hateful person. After coming forward throughout this sentence, I wrote that girl and I wrote the cop. And he says he still uses that. Doesn't use my name, but just tries to explain to people that there is change that could happen.
Rehabilitation.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, and I wrote all my victims. I wrote all of them.
Did you ever hear back from her?
2 of them I did.
What about that Mr. Sub?
No.
No?
No. But I was told by the officer that, she's okay now. Everything's all right. So
That's
hopefully
good.
that letter did help her a bit.
I can't imagine being on either side of that counter.
Yeah. 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 The pain I inflicted on a lot of people. A lot of people.
Has everybody forgiven you?
I'm sure they haven't.
Not everyone?
No.
Well,
I would be blown away if everybody's forgiven me.
Are the most important people?
Yeah.
So family members?
Yeah, I keep my circle tight. Yeah. Like my kids are my best friends. My ex-wife is my best friend. Her fiance is a very good friend of mine.
Really?
Yeah, their high school sweethearts broke up. Me and Marina got married. We broke up. They got back together. Best
are you
of
married
friends.
now?
We're separated. They're going to be getting married in October, so we're going to end up getting divorced.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So,
But
but
still-
no new wife for you now. Gotcha.
No. No. Yeah.
That's a whole different story there.
I'm happy. I'm happy the way I am right now. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, everything's good. Go on a date now and then, but other than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, if you could, you would be talking to grade 9 health classes.
Yep.
You'd still be... So, Sundays might change soon.
If he comes out with a list,
But if you win your civil suit...
yeah, I'll be done there. Yeah. And from what I understand, it'll probably say that to no longer protest in front of St. Kevins Parish. So it won't say anything about the diocese probably, which is on Shimon Parkway.
in St. Catharines.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was there.
Yeah, it's right beside the gas station.
See, this is pretty funny. Growing up Catholic, I don't even completely understand the whole
Yeah, that's the
hierarchy.
heartbeat of the Catholic faith
Yeah.
in Niagara. Yeah. I've protested there. Father O'Mara, who is a bishop, was a bishop in Pembroke. A bunch of cases were brought to him. He basically didn't do anything about it. And this was in 92, so I made a humongous sign for him saying, Bishop O'Mara, shame on you for 92.
And I just noticed you're a little bit far. Maybe if you can pull in a little bit too.
What?
Just in the seat. Just if you can. I just noticed the camera is maybe if you pull in. Yeah, you're a little deep. Yeah. That's
There
good.
we go. Okay. See my ugly mug?
No, it's good. It's good. Something I was just thinking about too. To go from such a change, you're talking about how different you were before to now.
Yeah.
What were some of the moments or people that helped you?
Oh, my family support from Marina and my kids, my ex-in-laws, Ken and Carol.
But-
huge support.
But at some points you must have really disappointed them.
Oh, yeah.
all these
My
things.
ex-wife hated me.
So when did things turn around?
When I got to Stonehenge,
This was a rehabilitate
the therapeutic community. Yeah,
Right.
it's a treatment center, but they call it a therapeutic community. Their approach is different there. It's more of the guys that run the place, and the staff are there just to oversee things.
So there's no
addicts
drug
helping
use
addicts.
there.
No.
So okay, let's talk about this place.
Mm-hmm.
So no drug use allowed there.
No.
This is to come clean.
Yeah. This is a therapeutic community, and it's very hard to get into. It's a very selective process.
So how did you get in?
I bombarded them with letters like Tim Robbins did in Shawshank Redemption for the library.
Really?
Remember that?
Great movie.
Letter
Nonstop.
after letter after letter after letter.
So how many did you send them? Do you think?
Oh, I don't know.
100?
Yeah, well over 100. I wrote them all the time. all the time.
Did they ever respond?
Yep. Yeah. And they finally sent me the application, and yeah.
So you get in.
Yep.
This is a big...
Huge deal. Huge deal. For even now, federal inmates still go there on day parole. But your first 2 weeks at Stonehenge is orientation. Then they have phase 1, 2, 3, senior level, and then you're out. Well, the orientation's 2 weeks. In that orientation, I seen hundreds of guys come into that program and like, fuck this.
Really?
Yeah, you can't even say fuck. You know what I mean? You can't say shit. You can't refuse anything. Programming all the time. The only time you're alone is to take a shit or take a shower. You're with somebody 24/7, a roommate, whatever.
Whatever they tell you to do, you have to do it.
Yeah, yeah. It's all for your own good.
Yeah,
yeah.
But that's a hard pill to swallow if you're not.
I tell people about Stonehenge, the way to sum it up is I went in there loving prison. Prison was a home.
Mm-hmm.
To leaving there loathing prison. So that's in that 6-month time period.
And you were there 6 months.
Yeah.
Most people are there 4.
4 months, yeah.
And a lot of people don't even make it through the orientation.
No, they call it commencement. At the end, you commence. You finally graduate, and then you come back a month later and have a huge party with the whole community. The women's center come over.
Yeah. So they must have a good success rate.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
Not 100%.
No.
But very good.
Yeah. A lot better than treatment centers.
Right.
Yeah.
Normal treatment centers don't go through quite the same process.
No. You dig deep in these programs. You dig deep. Every night there's a circle. Every community member's in the circle. If you have an outing, they put you in the middle of the circle. Everybody surrounds you, like 30 people, and ask you your questions. And how was your outing? Did you have any triggers? Well, I seen an empty beer bottle, and that kind of bothered me a bit. Or people with stories like that and stuff, yeah. So I had a mission. You know what I mean? I knew this program was going to work for me. That's all there was to it. Yeah.
So when you got in, you knew this was going to be good.
I could taste sobriety.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So the day you started there, is that the day? Did you say June 27th?
Yeah, June 27th. No, I quit doing drugs after I came forward with Greco.
Gotcha.
So after I got that newspaper, that was it. That was all. Yeah.
So that's when sobriety started.
Yeah, I didn't pick up any joints inside. You know, all that kind of stuff.
Because things are available inside too.
Way more than out here.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good that you were able to do it when it was readily available.
Oh, definitely. Always available, yeah. And like I said, once you have that eye on the prize.
So then you get out from there. Is that when the support from your...
When I was in Stonehenge, my ex-wife and kids came up to visit me there. And I think that's where she started to realize,
you were changing.
This isn't the same guy that I knew, you know. And I've had, like, my sister-in-law has said to me, my eyes. She says, your eyes always told everything about you. And your eyes were always filled with hatred and anger and deceit.
I don't see that in your eyes.
It's happiness now.
Yeah, that's good.
I look at myself in the mirror like this. I'm like, what are they talking about? I don't see it, but other people do.
You're right.
Yeah. I see it in my actions. Yeah.
So how can anybody that's gone through any of these things, because you've been through a lot.
Yeah.
This with the priest, drugs, jail. So your message is
the training school.
Yeah. You can resonate with a lot of different people trying to turn their life around.
Yeah. This all follows under the umbrella of mental health. All of it.
Right.
All of it. So whatever area of mental health it is, it's being touched, all the areas that I've gone through. This is why I want to talk to people, scream from the top of my lungs about this, to try to help others.
So how can anybody going through struggles, what are some words of advice for them, or what are anything?
Reach out to somebody that you can trust. That's a big thing, especially with people that have been violated in any way, not just sexually.
So that could mean anyone.
Yep, it could mean anyone. Could be me if you wanted to. I'm on Facebook on William O'Sullivan. Yeah. And am I allowed to give my phone number?
You can do anything you
905-941-9536. Like I said, I'm not a psychologist. I have no paperwork. But sometimes people just need somebody to talk to.
One more time, your phone number?
905-941-9536.
And your email?
Sully - just the line, Lennon, Lennon, John, not the other one from Russia, hotmail.com. So sully-lennon@hotmail.com.
And Sully is Sully.
Yes.
And they can find you on Facebook.
Yep, William O'Sullivan.
Yeah.
I also have a Facebook page called Sully's Journey, and that's more of, I've been putting some stuff there regarding the church, but that has more to do with the drugs and that,
Right.
opiate use.
So somebody's going through some tough times. The first thing is to reach out to somebody.
Yeah, don't keep it bottled up. Even if you're journaling or writing it down.
Get it out.
Get it out. Yeah, get it out.
And you mentioned you tried to get it out at one point, didn't go well. So if somebody's having a hard time getting it out, get it out, get it to someone.
Yeah.
Whoever.
Yeah.
It could be a brother, a sister,
somebody you
a friend.
can trust. Somebody that's not going to judge you. Somebody that's going to listen.
Right.
Yeah. That's a big one, listening.
And then once they start doing that, what are some of the process of...
You can call the Niagara Sexual Assault Center in St. Catharines. There's a lot of different programs. There's a program in St. Catharines called Hope for Men, and it's on Bunting Road. They meet Tuesday evenings at 7:00, and it's just guys that get together that have gone through the same things in their lives. All abuse.
Because not everybody's going to have the opportunity to go to the therapeutic place.
Oh no, exactly. And some people don't have the insurance, or if you're on any kind of government assistance and you have to go to the hospital, you're not. It's a shame, but you're probably not going to get the help that you believe you require.
Right.
So, maybe talking to somebody that's been through it. And
you can help a lot.
I think so. I think I could.
Well, you know a lot about this. If somebody came to me, opening up to me, I wouldn't even know what to tell them. So you can definitely, like you said, show direction.
Exactly. Try to direct people into different areas where they'll be able to help them.
And somebody had mentioned this to me too at one point. One that I was talking to you about reactions I've had. Somebody asked me if I felt I was qualified to talk to you. And I said, I can speak English.
I'm as qualified to talk to you as you are to me, man.
Right. So I'm not a therapist either. But two people talking is...
More times, this is more therapeutic than sitting on a couch and talking to a doctor with a pad.
Right.
I mean, this here is more therapeutic, definitely.
Right. Yeah. And I've appreciated all of this. I don't even know if it's time to call this quits or not, but this conversation has been a good one. You've opened my eyes to a lot of things.
I'm glad.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that other people that listen, watch this, have the same experience. I mean, this is life. This is happening.
Exactly. So. This is happening, and quit. If you can, please quit turning a blind eye to it.
Yeah.
If you see it in the news, read about it. Yeah. Find out what's actually going on out there.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people just shut down when they hear about things like this.
Some of those numbers you mentioned with like 393 in Canada. Mm-hmm. That 1,700 you said...
1,700 between two training schools, St. Alfred and St. John's. One was in Uxbridge and the other one...
So what's a training school?
That's when you're between the ages of 11 and 16 back then. And you could be a ward of the court or from fax, or your parents just got sick of you and said, get him out of my hair.
So you go and live there?
Yep. Yeah, gotcha. They had dormitories and, it was Christian ran by the lay order of the Christian Brothers. And everything there was mandatory. You didn't go to soccer, you got a shot in the head from a staff member.
Wow.
Yeah, some of them were pretty nasty.
And you spent a few years there?
No, I was there 13 months.
Oh,
felt like 13 years, but 13 months I was there, yeah. Wow. 15 to 16. I got to work out in the community when I was there. And because I wouldn't perform for one of the Christian Brothers there, I don't know how it happened, but they put a joint inside a binder of mine when I came back from school. I wasn't stupid. I wasn't bringing drugs back to the training school. That stuff wasn't going on there. And they canceled my school on me. So the next time Brother Bernard came and asked me to do something, he says, do you still want to keep your job in town? So that's the kind of tactics that they used to use.
Wow.
Yeah.
And where is that located?
It was in Uxbridge, St. John's Training School.
Gotcha.
And there's a page you can go on. It's called Kennedy House. And it's a Facebook page. And after St. John's was closed, a staff member there named Mr. Kennedy, Brian Kennedy, had been there so long. They named the detention center after him. They put fences up around it and stuff. And now they ripped it down. But if you go on the Kennedy House, there's actually somebody that went in there, broke into there, and did a camera tour, and they show the old,
Really?
chapel and all that kind of stuff. So I go on there once in a while and look at it. Definitely.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So maybe we do wrap this up.
Sure.
You believe it's been almost 2 hours?
Has it really?
Yeah, I've got hour 52 going here.
Wow.
Time flew.
Holy shit. Did it ever fly?
I know, right?
I feel like I've been sitting here a half hour, bro.
I know. It was a good
one.
one.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. I thank you so much for this platform.
Yeah, of course.
So much.
What's our last thing we want to say? You've mentioned your phone number.
Yep.
One more time.
905-941-9536.
Your email?
Sully-Lennon@hotmail.com.
Yeah. And you have a Facebook?
Yeah, Facebook page is William O'Sullivan. And there's another one I have called Sully's Journey. That's more on the opiate side of things.
Yeah.
But yeah, if anybody out there is listening from the school board, 905-941-9536.
You'd love to be able to talk to the kids.
Yeah, just getting in there and talking. Like when I went to go meet with the school board, I knew where their windows were. So I showed up 20 minutes early. I had a plan. Before school was starting, I gathered 11 kids around me and found out 2 of them were high and 2 of them were addicted to meth. I met with these kids for maybe 10 minutes out in the schoolyard. When I went up to see the school board, no clue.
They weren't aware.
You need somebody that can feel these things out and talk to these kids and use their lingo, and they'll
be
open.
oblivious.
Exactly, they'll open up to you, man.
Yeah, I completely agree with this type of thing. People that have been through things are going to relate way better. Just like myself, when I told you I've never done heroin or any of these things before, how could I ever really
can't relate?
Yeah,
exactly.
You've been through it. How are you not? And you're on the path of good.
Yeah.
How you have a lot to bring.
Yeah, exactly.
And I hope that there's people out there that want you to talk to people.
Yeah.
Because I can see that you would help. Like me not even being through any of this, you've opened my eyes to things, made me more aware.
Exactly.
Now there's people out there that need to hear these things.
That's right.
So
and today's day and age, there's absolutely, I commend people that have gone to school and got their certificates and work in psychology and psychiatry. But one thing I can't agree with is these people waving their finger at kids that are using drugs when meanwhile they only choked on a joint in college. You don't know what these kids are going through.
Exactly.
You're regurgitating what you learned in your school books and off of your certificate. Somebody that's been there. That's why I want to talk to the parents first, because I don't want the kids to come home and go, "Oh, you should have seen this guy in the class today." I want the parents to go, "Yeah? What did you learn from him?
Yeah.
What did you take away?" Instead of them going, "Oh my God, you had a guy in there say fuck."
Yeah.
And they were concerned about my language. I was kind of surprised with.
Yeah, because nobody swears. Kids don't swear.
That's how you can get on their level and relate. And that's, so what you have to swear. I know the rap terms and stuff. I can talk with the kids. Definitely.
I think that being through it all and being able to talk to them, I see tons of value there.
Exactly.
And the fact that you're willing to do it, because there's people that haven't found the path of where you are.
Or people who have and choose to just stay on their path and not expand it like I want to do and try to teach and have somebody learn. Yeah.
The fact that you're willing to share it.
Yep.
People are missing out on huge value if they're not.
Exactly. That's the way I look at it. That's the way I look at it.
Huge.
I've had 2 parents come over to me at the church and tell me that they use what I do as a teaching lesson for their children. Thank you. That's what this is about.
And I admire the perseverance.
Yeah.
And continue.
Well, I just want people to know it's not a part-time thing. Like I'm like the postman.
This is your life.
Rain, sleet, snow, I'll be out there.
So you haven't missed one Sunday?
No.
No matter what.
I've been out there actually a couple more than Sundays. I went out there on Soups On, which was a Friday, because Restorative Justice.
I've been to the soup.
Well, Restorative Justice puts that on, and they donate $2,500 to a recipient that's going to go to college through the church. So I went there that day, asked 30 people to ask Restorative Justice representative to come out, because I'd like to know if maybe one of these times you could donate that $2,500 to maybe a survivor that wants to go to college. Not one person would come out and talk to me. No.
I think things like this are going to help.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Because, like I said, I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah.
So I think I have to hope
Yeah.
that is part
That's
of
what
the
I say.
fear.
There's always hope. There's always hope.
But I have to hope that's part of the fear.
Exactly,
Is not
yeah.
knowing what you're going to say
Yeah.
or what you're about.
Yeah.
So I have to hope that when anybody sees this, or as you keep going and people see what you're about.
Yeah. And I got the beard and the look. So a lot of people, like, they just look at me and just think it's, I'm not approachable, or, it's the stereotype. People are fitting in that category when they just
So what's
see
up
you.
with the beard?
And they, what? I started, a good friend of mine named Brian started growing his beard 3 years ago. And I think his wife made him cut it. But he doesn't have a beard now. And I just won't shave mine. I love it.
Yeah, beards are in.
Oh, sure they are. I love it. People either like beards or they don't like them. People keep telling me to trim it, and I'm like, no, beardos for life.
Yeah,
all you fellow beardos out there.
If you're on the beard train, it's all good.
That's it. Yeah.
But yeah, I think this is. I'm sure that there's other reasons, but I have to think that this is people's concern, is being fearful of what you're gonna say.
Yeah.
But anybody that you're trying to get your message to, or that sees this, I think they're going to have an insight on what good things you can help people with.
Yeah, exactly. And anybody that's listening to this or watching this, feel free. Do not hesitate to stop at the church if you see me out there and ask a question.
Yeah.
Anybody at any time.
You're even more open than I thought.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I try to be. I like the analogy I use of my life now. Life's a wheel. The hub is honesty. Everything else is the spokes is life. If that stays solid,
it's all good.
Wheel keeps turning.
It's all good.
That's the way I use. Yeah, I started that in Stonehenge. That analogy. I think
I like that. That's a really good one.
Works perfect for me. Yeah.
Yeah. So
but it's all about honesty. Like I've told people, I've laid myself bare. Any question you want to ask me, any crime I've committed, I will admit to. I will talk to. I will lay myself bare. It's all about honesty. That's it. That's all. Yeah.
That's amazing. That must be a really...
It's nice. After lying for so long, it's so fucking hard to keep track of lies, man. Who did I lie about? This show or what? This? When you're honest, there's nothing to keep track of.
Yeah, your memory doesn't have to be... You just gotta say it how it is.
That's it. Exactly. Yeah.
Well, I hope that from all of this, that there's people that didn't know your story like me.
Yeah.
Now know. I hope that this brings more good to you, to everybody.
A little more awareness. Yeah, definitely.
I know that it's going to take a lot more.
Oh, yeah.
How many podcasts, newspapers, TV, anything, documentaries, getting a word out on anything, especially something like this.
See, I journaled about this a while ago, and the reason why I use The Exorcist is because a lot of people have seen it, and a lot of people have seen the staircase that ran up to Reagan's room. So I use my analogy of going after the church. That's the staircase that I have to climb, and I'm only about halfway up the first step right now. So believe me, I know it's a huge mountain.
Yeah.
But if you're a true believer in Christianity, and you believe in Davy and Goliath, who won that?
Davy.
Yeah, with a slingshot, man. My signs are my slingshot. And my shirt, my wares, yeah.
It's awesome. Well, I think this is a good time to go out, and I really appreciate you coming out here.
Thank you so much for having me on.
I'm happy you reached out to me.
Yeah, so am I. So am I, definitely.
And I don't even know like what I hope comes out of all this, but I hope you keep doing all the good that...
A few months' time, I'd be more than happy to come on and you could do an update or something.
Give me an update.
Definitely. Definitely. I'd love to do that.
Okay.
You're stuck with me now. You're constantly going to hear from me now.
I love it.
Watching
this
all the
was great.
reviews. Yo, for sure. Thanks so much, Joe. I appreciate it.
Great.